how about I change this? I mean, just. I know you all won't be able to see, but maybe you can hear some reference. So you all can see, okay? At least see lah, no need to read the word. So how many of you have all, and any of you not taken part in Mosque Challenge before? Okay. So what do you know about Mosque Challenge? Yes, that's right. So we've been running for the last 7 years. Not 7 years. So this is the 7th edition. We've been running this since 2015. It started back in we started at Masjid Kassim. So at that point of time, there were actually a lot of hackathons happening at that time. I'm not so sure if there's a lot of hackathons going down, but it seems the number of our Malay Muslims taking part was very low. So we were thinking, hey, why don't we do something in a mosque where Muslims can feel more comfortable to do, and at least it's something which they feel very much for. So that's what happened. MUIS was involved, we went to pitch at MUIS, but they didn't actually sponsor, but at least they got their approval basically, and there were a few other volunteers. At that time it was quite big, the first one, Prof. Yaakob came down, the Minister of Muslim Affairs, the founder of Muslim Pro was there. Yeah, so it was quite a huge thing. So as we go along, it's okay, we just started. Yeah, so I all the different areas. Yeah, but you can. Yeah, so the whole objective is for you guys to come up with something, it's just to see the idea about something you can build for the community. And every year we have come up with different themes which is reflective of maybe the local or even global challenges which are being faced. Last year it was mental health because coming out of COVID, people were like so lonely and after 3 years of not meeting anybody. So this year, on the request of Masjid Kassim and on our own, we decided actually aging population is the topic which we should start to think about, because I will show you the numbers later. It's a bit scary now, for us. Maybe most of you are in your 30s, early 30s, 20s. Who's in their 20s? Wow. Are you sure? 10s, teens, 40s. Yeah, so all of us will be affected. Anyway,
is that really live streaming? Yeah, it's okay.
yeah, so you can see that's the prize money I'm putting up. So, but the whole point of this, that's just an excuse for me to just take money from Mendaki and give it to the community because they only fund educational purposes. But yeah, I mean, we want to reward people who want to do something, and maybe start up building your projects, and it might lead to something, a better job, a better future for all of us. Yeah. So I think it's not much, but at least it's something. Fun fact: I managed to get married because I won one hackathon. to buy the wedding ring. This one, of course. Yeah. So you might even check your life. How much was it? It was $2,000, and I was with my teammate, so I got $1,000 and he got $2,000. So yeah, it might really change your life. But who knows? Yeah, so this is the event schedule for day one. I think we are a bit about 2 hours late, but it's okay because I think most of you are actually ready to start hacking because you are ready in your teams, and I think you might already have some idea of what you're going to do. But first, so this briefing actually, I just want to set a tone, to show some uh, ideas or maybe even some statistics about what aging population is and what are the challenges we can take on. And then after that, at 2:30, we have our brother Iza here and one more guy who came all the way from San Francisco.
I don't know where, but he's based in the US, but he's here for vacation, I think.
Yes, so he's going to come and also share his journey in the tech world. So maybe you can give them your attention for a while thinking about your ideas.
He's actually watching this live stream.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Hi,
everyone.
Wonderful. Yeah, then after that we'll break for Asar. Then at about 6 like that, I hope you all already have started hacking and doing some of the ideas. Then we will do the roundabout so you all can just give each either feedback on your ideas and maybe you also can get some ideas how to improve your development. And then after that, iftar will be in the mosque. So the iftar cover what for us? For us, I think I check. We might do something about this. Yeah, iftar, then maghrib, then bazaar. No, sorry, I didn't say that. Yeah, then after that we can continue with your drawing, and then after that we will be hacking overnight. Inshallah, I'll be here with you all. But of course, you all are adults. Please, if you need to leave, by all means, but maybe just inform us because we're still responsible for you. Yeah, if anything. Okay, and then tomorrow morning, then we have with our mentors. And also is the president of the BKM, whose office is also JC. Psychologist. Yes, he's also psychologist. There's a clinic down the road, so if after this, yes. So if you feel you need some mental health support, you can talk to him. Then who else we have? We have brother Zain from Blue Wireless, who's also a representative of the MMIT, Malay Muslim in Tech, which is under Mendaki or working here in Mendaki. Yeah, so they are one of our supporters, so thanks to them. Then we'll break for Zoho. No, so the hour between 12 to 1, so Zoho will be the demo. So the judges will go from table to table. You will just present. I'll share with you the. Yeah. Yeah, and then the last judge is Dr. Elmi. He's a associate professor at NUS in CNM. Yeah, in NUS. Yeah, new media. So he actually teaches new media. And he's been helping us actually. I think he was a judge in one of the past. Yeah, maybe he was the first one or second one. Yeah. Yeah. So by 2 o'clock, inshallah, all of you will get prizes because these are just three things. Unless one more thing comes. Yeah, and then we should be ending by 3 o'clock. Okay. So are you all ready to start?
Sure.
Actually, not yet. Okay, so the topic, aging population, basically how do we leverage technologies in this Mosque challenge to manage challenges arising from the aging population? So what are we dealing with? See, the Wikipedia or basically the dictionary definition of aging population is, a demographic pattern which is increasing in proportion of the population's elderly individuals, usually defined as people above 65. Yeah, so if you can see, this was in 2000, I think, when most of us just born or just growing up. And then 20 years later, this whole population is moving up. And then soon, in 2050, it's like all of us. We're going to be above 50 years old, right? In 30 years. And imagine who's supporting us. Imagine now you have a 50-year-old father, parent, and then there's still a lot of us, technically, see, above 50. There's still a lot of us in the workforce providing services. But here, you are seeing a whole group of youngsters who will have to work doubly hard, triply hard for us to continue living with the same. So I think at the end of the day is, how do we continue living with the same standard of living? Because that's it. So this is a result of basically the decrease in fertility rates. So even in our Malay population, which has always been quite high compared to the other racial groups, it's also declining. Maybe it's just the effect of modernity. We want to live better lives, or just people are not focusing on making more children. So we are now career focused, travel focused. So it's very hard. Yeah, but this is the reality that we are faced with. It's not something which I think individually we can change, because it's actually happening not just in Singapore, it's all over the world. See, Japan is even worse. Almost 30% of their population in 2020 already is above 65. Yeah. South Korea is similar to Singapore. So whatever solutions you create here might also be able to be used somewhere else in the world. Yeah. So what are the challenges which we are facing? So first, society, healthcare, economy, our welfare system, and also infrastructure. We need more lifts. We need to drive around more, maybe when more people are older. How do we change that? Is 30 years long enough to change on that? Yeah. So for society, I just chat GPT this. So cool, right? Yeah. So first, caregiving responsibilities. Maybe now your parents are still young enough. When you're taking care of your children, you don't have to worry about them. But in the future, your children might have to take care of their children and also take care of us who are old. Yeah, so that's gonna be, how do you handle that? Kita sekarang nak jaga anak aja is very hard now. In the future, you have to struggle and take care of both. Then second is, let's say, you can't take care of your parents, and there will be other issues like isolation, mental health, which needs to be handled. So that's the challenge. So second, healthcare. I think this is why the reason our finance minister has said our GST has to be increased, because of the increased amount of healthcare which needs to be spent on public healthcare infrastructure, and more people will be suffering from chronic illnesses at the same time. Because now let's say there's this amount of people with cancer or with stroke, but in the future there'll be a lot more suffering at the same time. You need more doctors. Where are the doctors going to come from? You need more nurses. You need more healthcare workers. Yeah. So then that's the thing. Yes, and that's the last point, the healthcare workforce. So all these things are things which we can possibly solve. We can't solve everything, but if we put in place some things which maybe we can alleviate some of the problems. Then comes the economy. So with more people who are retired, do you want to work until you're 70? Oh my God, I can't imagine working now. At 40, I'm really very tired. Yeah. So what is it like to be working at 70? Yeah. And then of course there's age discrimination. As technology becomes faster, are we able to teach our elders to get on technology faster. Yeah. And then the young people will be like, maybe the young people will become bosses also. There will be a whole. Now I think we can hire younger people easily, but in the future you might have to, as a young boss, you might have to hire older people, or not just boss, as a manager, as a supervisor. Yeah. Or if you are a young employee, bila tu nak naik, nak tunggu the people in the upper ranks to leave the job, And there's only so many job functions you can take on. Yeah. The next is our welfare system, who recognizes that logo. You guys are in your 20s. Start saving. Yeah, so we need to start investing now, so we can have potentially enough to support our life coming in the future. And last is the infrastructure. Okay, so infrastructure, now if you see HDBs, they are upgrading, making more railings. So there's things, I think government, even in the workspace, they have grants for officers to upgrade their facilities so that older workers can still come to office and work. Or even to change, to change the type of job so that they can work from home. So that they have to come to office so often. Yeah. So these are the things, and 30 years is not a long time, honestly, to change infrastructure.
If I can add also, even the mosque is feeling it.
That's right.
Where we have, I think now we are in shortage of childcare centers. So now the trend is actually aged care centers, where you put the elderly there when you go to work, and then you take the elderly back when you come back from work. And there are not enough Malay, there are not enough ones which are organized by Malay organizations. Because as you get older, no, childcare is different. Childcare, you go to a Christian childcare, Buddhist childcare, it's okay because their content is all the same. But for elderly, their palette is different. The things that they do. So right now, a lot of elderly are not going to the those by mainstream kind of senior activity centers because the activities are like bingo, karaoke, mahjong, right? Which is not suitable for an elderly. They get more basically more spiritual, right? And there are not enough centers organized or run by Muslim organizations. So what's happening now also is we see a lot. It's getting more and more where the children pergi kerja, they leave their elderly parents here at the mosque, and then they go to work. And they'll be here all the way sampai like after asar until after work, and then they will fetch the. So you see these elderly people just hanging around at the masjid.
The mosque become elder care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the mosque it's not really, or it's still thinking about like how to support this, right? Because we don't get grants from the government and all that, right? And having an elder care infrastructure and amenities is a different ballgame altogether, but it's happening already, People they're just leaving the parents here sampai petang, and then they go to the coffee shop all that. So that's something that you can think about also when you think about how the mosque sector also can actually play a part in this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. I think that was a good end. Yeah, I was to facilitate that, but yeah, right from the horse's mouth, what the challenges are. So it could be in the mosque, it could be the solution could be in a bigger way, how we can solve this together. So what is in the market right now? So before we go there, I just want to show you, these are slides from last year. How do you think about the problems you solve? So first, you think about who are going to be your users, the people who are going to use your application, your software, your technology. Have anyone close to you experience those challenges of being an elderly, dealing with aging population, taking care of elderly people? And then is there research which is already being done by a whole group? Maybe yes, your mother is taking care of your grandparents, but maybe this problem is not just for her, it could be a whole community. And second is, so what do you do when you are faced with such a challenge? And then the third stage is to see what benefit or gains we want to impact, the positive impact. And then away, just now what I mentioned is how do we create a better standard of living. I think that's, and then of the day, when we live in this world, itu yang apa yang kita boleh buat for, so that we can focus on what is more important, that is akhirat. But first, what was this saying? I got the sixth pillar of Islam is actually prayer. Yeah. For you to be able to meet your basic needs first, then only the other five can happen. But if people are still dealing with their everyday problems, they will not be able to conduct themselves in the other five rukun of Islam. Yeah, of course that's a very extreme example, but because I deal with philanthropic charities and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think that's it. So how do you improve, let's say, elderly independence, whether they can do the things themselves, how to alleviate pain, or just to get support. Sometimes they, we all might be okay with using the phone, but to them it might be very, very difficult. So how to make it easier? Yeah, so this is the problem statement we can do. How might we do something for whom in order to get the benefits? Yeah, this is how you can frame your problem statement or your solution statement. So just some examples. This is Doctor Anywhere. So I think this, have you guys used the solution before? Yeah, so before this, you had to go queue up at the clinics. Now the lines are getting longer. Have you been to the college clinics recently? You could wait for hours. Then if you are older, even getting to the clinic is hard. So the current solution at that time, there were just people who could do online booking maybe of a clinic appointment, but you still have to go down to the clinic. And also buying medicine, you can just buy online, but how do you know that it's for you enough? Yeah, so their mission is basically to make healthcare simple, accessible, and efficient for everyone. So yeah, it's very clear what they're trying to achieve. Another solution, Homage. It's an app for you to get healthcare support. In the past, you probably hire a maid to take care of your grandparent, but these helpers are not trained to give healthcare. So what they have done is more like a Grab for healthcare workers. Yeah, so if you need specialized care, specialized needs. Yeah, so these are just some examples. So as Cassie said, similar to Dr. Anywhere, they also have all this B2B video conferencing. So I think COVID was a blessing because all of us were trained to do this. But you never know, that old people were still not used to using such technology. How can we make it easier? Yeah. So now coming to the end of my presentation, what do you expect from you guys taking part in this Mosque challenge? So first is you may choose to address something to do with the topic. So whether it's awareness, education, access to services of healthcare, or any other related areas which is tackling one of those challenges which I mentioned earlier. Whether in the economy, in the infrastructure, social welfare. So this is very important to have a clear problem statement. What are you trying to solve? That will tell the judges whether what you are solving is relevant to the topic or not. Yeah, and that will make a bulk of your judging criteria. Then, of course, there must be an element of technology included in the prototype solution, not just on paper, but you must have at least one major feature working. So if you say, it's a teleconferencing between you and the doctor, then at least you can show that the teleconferencing works. Then, of course, the last one, hopefully you all can also incorporate some Islamic element. I don't know how, but yeah, maybe if it's related to the mosque or to the Muslim community, I think that will be good because it's more tech challenge, of course. Yeah. Okay, so this is judging criteria. Don't worry so much about this, but yeah, so at the end of the day, you are going to be judged for basically meeting the basic requirements that is relevant to the team. You don't make some other uh, topic. Then second is technical innovation. Whether you use, if you can explain that you use this latest, coolest API or this number of stacks, wow, the judges, wow. Yeah, then of course your business plan. How do you plan for people to adopt this? How, whether the UI UX looks nice and how practical it is to be executed. So, and then the last one is how well you present, and that will make the whole 100%. So, okay, you guys have done this, and I think since they're not here yet, maybe you guys can start doing your discussion with me. Okay, any questions? Okay, if no questions, you guys have my number or Hidayah's number. If there's anything, you can call me if we are not around. If not, we'll be here most of the time. Thank you. All right. Start hacking.
All right. Yo, brainstorm.
Whether anyone is here.
Oh, sorry.
Whether anyone has
Wow. Welcome back.
Assalamualaikum. Have a seat. Kat sini boleh. Are we having it now? The sharing?
You guys are okay with the sharers?
Thanks for coming early.
I think let's do that first before you already get into coding and then there's no paying attention really. So first up, I would like to.
Can you introduce yourself?
You want to do that? Shall we do that? Okay, let's do that. Maybe just one representative from each team. Yeah.
What?
Introduce your team, yeah, and yourself.
Oh, we are no team name consisting of. Is it actually name? Really? So our team consists of me, Zinun, and one person who will come later. He's not here yet. He's the. Oh, Zin juga. Okay, two people who are going to come here. He's not part of the team. He's coach. He's personal mentor, not part of the plan just now. Yeah, I think that's it.
So which school are you from?
Oh, that kind of introduction. Okay. I am Amazus Anajib from NUS High School of Math and Science, and this year I am secondary 2. Anon? Introduce yourself.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmadin Najib and I'm from Madrasah Irsyad Zuriyah Islamiyah. 12 years old.
Yeah. Then, are you a team?
No.
Oh, yeah, I thought it.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but we can already Mr. Hotel Manso.
Khalid.
Wait, what?
So,
Just introduce yourself. Where do you work or where you come from?
uh,
More about your interests related to that.
I've finished a degree in business and I'm working as a project manager. And I'm trying to raising funds for my own startup. So I wanted some, let's say this, some momentum now. So that's why I came here.
Because I heard something very interesting from you in the debate. You were looking at shortening HDB renovation to 1 month.
So if you're gonna get renovation right, it's gonna take 2 to 3 months before you guys can move in.
Yeah.
But realistically, 70% of the time it's not being utilized because each company had their own timetable. So I'm using data interoperability to facilitate, expedite the entire thing. So if you do that, it's gonna cut down by 1 month now. Yeah, so that's something I'm doing. Got a few investors
So yeah, share something like that. Alright?
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zaid. I'm working as a software developer for one of the SMEs. We're doing specialized in the POS system. So I just got to know about this from one of our mutual friend, which is coming later. So this is my first so-called hackathon. So I just don't know what to expect. So yeah, I just want the exposure really.
Hello, yeah, we are two chef and two dishwasher. We are from NTU Computer Science. My name is Budi, it's Irfan, and we have hello everyone. And our friend is his name is Akhil from civil engineering.
Your first time is
No, it's my third time.
alright.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Daya, and if you guys came last year, you've seen me. I just help volunteer for Mosque Challenge, and as a job, I'm a software tester and automator. And I used to be business development. But more importantly for this hackathon, I'll help mentor you guys if you guys need anything related to the business and the problem statement, so that you guys can better present your ideas and prepare for your presentation. So yeah, please let me know if you need help. Also, please keep in mind with our Zul. I was like, Zul here, and he has a lot of experience working in the social sector. He's been working for how many years? 30 years, right? 20, 15 years, sorry. And he'll be very, very it'll be very good if you guys can ask him questions that will help you guys come up with the correct problem statement, because we want to hit the problem on the nail. The nail on the head? No, I don't know. Yeah. Coffin on the nail on the coffin?
Should I introduce myself? I didn't introduce myself. Yeah. So actually, so those who not know me, my name is Fazli. I'm actually I'm a volunteer also. So this whole Mosque actually is organized by volunteers. But my day job, basically, I run this platform for Islamic events. I would call myself a technopreneur. Yeah. So I've been building solutions for the Muslim community now for the past 15 years actually. I graduated from NUS in 2010 in computer engineering. And I did a year in Sweden, Stockholm, as part of the NOC program. Yeah, so I'm trying to apply what I've learned in our community. And I think our community has grown very much compared to back then. I was like the only guy in computer engineering. But now you see a lot more people in tech, now we can form a community, people going overseas, to Silicon Valley and stuff to get great jobs. And I think that's something which you can continue doing and basically contribute. And then on the day, contribute back to the community in whatever ways. Yeah. So I think without further ado, I think everyone is we're pleased to have here to share his experience.
Is the mic even necessary? It helps.
It doesn't. You don't have to shout. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear my voice? You can hear my voice. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for inviting, especially to Brother Izhar. I just landed in Singapore on Sunday, I think, and then Monday morning, then he messaged me, "Hey, Hilwan, you're back in Singapore. Can you come back and do a masterclass?" Masterclass? When? Saturday. So okay lah. So that's why I decided to just drop by. I'll go back to the first slide. So just a bit, as you can see from the title, I'm a tech lead. I'm based in the US. I'm working Mastercard now. I've been working in Mastercard for about 6 years. I'll go more into depth on my introduction. And yes, I do not have a CS degree. I don't have a computer science degree. So a bit more introduction about myself. I've been in tech since 2008, and as I mentioned, I'm currently in Missouri in the US. So Missouri is like dead in the middle, like it's like Jin Batendang lah, basically. The closest city will be Chicago. That's where me, my wife, and my son we are there. I dropped out from NTU just to I will elaborate more about that. When I first joined the industry in 2008, I only have my diploma from NYP, and then 7 years into the industry, I took a marketing degree instead to kind of help with my career. Side note as well, I was a team captain for the Singapore Mount Everest team between 2010 and 2015. So again, I will elaborate more about that later on. Okay, so jumping right into it, I don't have much time. I'm gonna rush through. I've got a few more lists. And we are all software engineers, so we all know that in a list, we all start with 0. So 0 is the most important point. So the means to the end. So this is something that I want to start and touch on right at the start. Right. So all of us, whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you've been in the scene for long, you need to know what's your end goal in mind. You need to know where you're gonna be at in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. Are you still gonna be in the same position? Are you gonna be fine in that position? And if you're aiming for like a director position or a VP position, what does it take for you to get there? And if you are willing to go that distance to get there, do you want to go overseas? You want to stay local, right? All of these things you need to start thinking of. When we planned to move overseas, me and my wife, it was a 3-year plan because she was finishing her studies and I was kind of like finished with all my stuff. So it was a 3-year plan to start to plan overseas, where we're going to go, where we're going to land. Because we don't want to land in the US and then she's working in the West Coast and I'm working in the East Coast and you have to commute, right? So all of this has to be planned out. So do you need a degree? If you're going to be in the US, you're going to be in the UK, do you need a degree, do you need a master's, do you need a PhD? So what kind of qualification do you need? So all of these things will come into play when you actually start planning about what's your end goal in mind, right? Okay, next slide, please. So the second point is really, really very important, which I will always like to remind anyone who I mentor, or even to my wife as well, is to always build bridges. Always. Never ever burn any bridge ever. Right? What do I mean bridges, right? The work opportunity that will present itself from doing things outside of your job will open more opportunities than your job will ever open. That's kind of like the fact of it. But most of the time, these all come from like volunteer times and those are not paid. And sometimes it's not sexy to do those things. But often not, those things are the one that actually opens up the opportunity for you. So, try and explore opportunities outside of your day-to-day job, outside 9 to 5. Either you want to volunteer, either you want to mentor other people, either you want to, tuition or in software engineering. That's something that you can even consider. So bridges can also come in other ways and form. How many of you are still in touch with your very first lecturer that taught you? Your very first professor who ever taught you? How long ago was that? 6 years? Good, keep that up. You?
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
So,
Already this year.
okay. Yeah, I'm still in touch with my lecturer who taught me in Poly 2003. Like I can call him now and I can ask him for coffee and we'll meet up for coffee. So that's how close the relationship is. And this relationship is what will open an opportunity for you. He offered me a job as a lecturer in NYP. I had to turn him down because I got a position in the US instead. So this kind of offers comes in when you continue to maintain the relationship with those people who helped you out in the past. What kind of other bridges are there? Like I mentioned before, I used to be part of the Singapore Everest team. So that's one solid heck of a bridge that no one can take away from me. So in 2015, long story short, the team didn't manage to climb Mount Everest because 2015 there was that's an earthquake in Kathmandu, right? 7,000 people did. But because of that, I had to step up to fill the role of, instead of it being an Everest expedition, it became an evacuation. It became a search and rescue team. So that was the situation on the ground. We were at Everest Base Camp and I was communicating with not just the media as a liaison, but also the family members as a liaison, also as ministers as a liaison, to Mr. Zulkifli, to Mr. Shanmugam, who was very concerned about the team. So without realizing it, I became like a crisis management and trying to get in contact with the team and all this kind of stuff, and just trying to maintain updating the media. So that in itself opened a ton of opportunities for me. So one example was at the end of the whole Everest expedition, and once that thing is done and dusted, an offer came on the table to actually ask me if I would like to join a company. I can't name which one. To join them as a CEO, I had to turn them down, mainly because my focus was to move overseas. So that's, just an example of what opportunities that can open for you when you focus on things outside of job. All right, next slide, please. So the grass may or may not be greener on the other side. So I'm 5.5 years in the US now, and the US is huge, and I'm situated in Missouri. So at times, we even question ourselves, why are we there? why are we there? Why aren't we back in Singapore? Yes, the money may be good, but sometimes you hear a lot of problems in the US, especially in the US, right? About like school shootings, about them introducing like gender roles and those stuff, even at the young age of like kindergarten. So that kind of like worries us, especially now that I have a son. So, is it good to move overseas? Is it good to stay in Singapore? That's really up to you to decide. Right? But as I mentioned, the grass may or may not be green on the other side. Okay. Next slide. Communication strategies. Okay, now we are going to the soft skills, right? And I just talked like 3 points about nothing to do with the job. Now about the job. So 10 years in Singapore working as a software engineer, I've interviewed a lot of people. And 5 years in the US, also interviewed a lot of people. And the interviewees that you can kind of like compare the two. And most of the time you can see that the Ang Moh, they are really very good at communicating their ideas, debating to get their ideas being put forward. But when you interview the Asians, or Singaporeans, they will tend to be like, okay lah, a bit more like, they're a bit more lembut lah. They were a bit more, they're a bit more subtle. So that's something that I've picked up and we, like my wife as well, we picked up when we moved overseas. I guess she agrees. So that's something that you need to, and it helps as well because when you can communicate your ideas, not just to other tech members, right? You need to communicate your ideas as a business value to those who actually pays your salary, right? Those who actually fund your project. And then you can translate those ideas to actually business value that will return a certain return of investment. Then that will translate to dollars and cents and yada yada, and then that kind of like helps the business running. So that really helps to step up your position from a software engineer to something a bit more like a principal or a tech lead, a principal or a director level. Adaptability in tech. So the number of times that I hear when I interview fresh graduates, they'll be like, I was not taught this in school. If I have $1 for each time I hear, I was not taught this in school, I'll be a millionaire by now. More often than not, you will never be taught the things that you're going to do in your job in school. Right? Take for example, when I was in when I was in Polytechnic, I was trained in ActionScript, Flash ActionScript, 2006. I went into NS 2007, 2008. iPhone came out. iPhone officially said that they don't support Flash. Flash died immediately. I came into the industry, and the language that I was studying for the past 3 years became obsolete almost immediately. Right. So now what do? You learn. 2008, YouTube only maximum 10 minutes length. So I had to go to the library, pick up a PHP book, and read. So you have to, you cannot expect your school to teach you everything that you're going to do at your job. But what you need to be is you need to be really very quick at your feet to learn on the job and to be adaptable. Right. Stop timing the tech industry. Right. It's people always ask me, is it a good time to enter tech? Is it a bad time to enter tech? It is always a good time to enter tech. The more you wait, the faster the things will just leave you behind. Now there's tech in every aspects of the industry. There's pharmaceutical tech, there's education tech, there's tourism tech. Anything that's not tech will be tech soon, right? So from logistics all the way to petrochemical. So all of these industries will start to be tech very, very soon, very, very fast. Back in 2006, when I first graduated from NYP, the fintech term was just brand new. Everyone was like fintech, 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 right? And then suddenly there's the whole cryptocurrency, and then like, oh, blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. And then now it's machine learning, everything is machine learning. Even AI has AI inside it. So don't be left behind. As soon as you're interested to be in tech, just dive in full on and ride the wave. Because once you take a break, now I'm in Singapore for like a month, right? By the time I come back to the US, get back to my job, things are gonna move on already, and like catch up with them again. Okay. Problem solving mindset. So this is really very important, right? You need to cultivate a very resourceful and problem solving mindset. And this is something that I see a lot of the younger fresh graduate has a little bit need a bit of push for them. When they are stuck on something, they tend to just sit and wait for a senior software engineer to come in or a tech lead to come in and then like say, hey, do you have any problem now? And in order for you to upgrade from a junior engineer to a senior engineer, you need to have this drive, this gumption to want to go and solve and go the extra mile. And that's something that will separate you from a junior engineer to a senior software engineer and even further. Right. Prejudice is everywhere. Get over it. Right. This is gonna be the reality. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because that's how the reality is. So let me tell you a story. So when I first joined the industry, this whole cancel culture wasn't a thing. So the manager the HR who interviewed me, she said, I still remember her name, not gonna mention, but she said that I know for Malays, you guys need to go Friday prayers on every Friday. So you all take long lunch, like between like 12 to 2. I said, yeah, I do. And then the HR said, for our policy, we only have lunch for 1 hour. And then I'm like, okay, are you gonna do okay with that? And I flat out say I'm not. I need to go for my Friday prayer. And then after that, she was like, okay, then we were gonna have a problem. And then I said, yeah, but you can ask me to work overtime up to like 7, 8, 9 p.m. I'm fine. You can ask me to work on weekends. I'm gonna be fine. You can ask me to work on public holidays. I'm gonna be fine. But if you're gonna ask me to work on a Friday and skip my Friday prayer, I'm not gonna be fine. And then she was like, okay. And I got the job. Right. So yes, the truth is you need to work extra hard, but you're gonna benefit it anyway. Right? Even if you work extra hard, you're gonna be benefiting it anyway. My wife, she's a postdoc research doctor in neuroscience in Washington University, wearing a hijab in the US. Right? We get stopped. People will walk up to us. Can I pray to Jesus for you? They do that, right? And if you're gonna like feel like, I'm at the crossroad at the junction, and then a truck drove past, brought down his windscreen, and not just spout expletive at me, and then ask me to stop taking their effing jobs and stop go to F home, blah 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 blah. It's gonna be everywhere. It's a part and parcel. I mean, that's not how blatant it is in Singapore, but it's just different ways, right? So you either convert that into your strength and use it to your advantage, or you use it as an excuse. So it's up to you. Okay, don't shy away from showing off. This is something that we kind of that lack in doing as Asians. We tend to shy away on what we actually can do. I'm sure you guys are fantastic coders and engineers and problem solvers, but you guys need to really show off their true color. The Westerners, they're really good at it. Even if they don't know shit, they will still say they know shit, and they will sell you the idea that they can do shit, but they can't do shit, right? But us Asians, we can do fantastic things, but we say no lah, cannot lah, no lah, it's okay lah. We tend to like to under promise and over deliver, but the Westerners, they would like to over promise and under deliver, so that's not good either. But in a sense, we need to be more comfortable in showing off and beating your own drum and trying to show that you're great, because you are great, right? And when you realize that everything around you is run by people who are no smarter than you and me, and then you realize, hey, yeah, actually you can have you can have a lot of impact in the world. Continuous learning. Okay, I'm gonna touch a bit about this. So I dropped off from NTU. I joined the industry with my diploma. 7 years later, I went to take my part-time degree in capital marketing. This is really very important because one, it helps me jump overseas, right? Moving overseas, you need one very important criteria. You need a degree, any degree. They don't care any degree, just a degree. So if you don't have a degree, then you won't be able to get your work permit, your work visa. So, and then now that I'm in MasterCard, right? They have a plan for you to upgrade to a master's degree, and they will finance it for you. So that's kind of like in 5 works. But we had a son, so that kind of like had to take a backseat step. But yeah, just keep on focusing on upgrading yourself, because, like, say for example, Angular release a new version every 6 months. That's crazy, right? And React, they're releasing the React 19 with like server-side rendering and those kind of stuff. And Next.js, there's like a ton of new features. So tech industry moves really, really fast. So you have to keep up. And last but not least, don't forget to give back to the community. Okay? No man is an island. When you have time, always try and give back to the community in any way, shape, or form. Your time, over the phone, WhatsApp, ADP list, whatever. But one thing that I would like to always say is, you see one, do one, teach one. Means you see someone do it, you try and do it, you learn from it. Once you learn it, try and teach someone else. And then the cycle continues. Right? And eventually you'll have more and more of us in the industry. All right, and yeah, nice timing, right? 30 minutes. All right, that's all for me. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be seated somewhere there. If not, I'm going to hand it back over to Isa.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the really insightful statement, especially on the part regarding time and tech that's not fit for any man. Is that your quote or from someone else?
Oh, that's my quote.
All right, then I'm going to quote you next time. All right, time and tech waits for no man. All right, so for today, I'm just going to spend a bit of time trying to show you, oh wait, I'm not even wearing it. Trying to show you how, hopefully what I'm trying to present might inspire you for today's hackathon, or it might inspire you for future hackathons as well. All right, so I'm just going to give you, any of you familiar with virtual reality devices? Has any of you not worn a VR device? So all of you have worn a VR device before. So yeah. So you saw how why I'm saying that is because at the end of the day, in the near future, besides having machine learning, like just now Hirwan mentioned, previously everyone was talking about blockchain, and then suddenly they're talking about machine learning at the moment. And then yeah, it's gonna progress really, really fast. The reason why I messaged him on Monday, because at the end of the day, I always believe in the ethos of moving fast. All right. So I'm Izha. I'm from MMIT, and my day job is, for better use of words, I help police catch bad people, break up terrorism networks, and also other financial fraud scam networks that exist globally. But for today, I'm just going to show you a bit of my own interest. I'm not someone who is taught in coding or any engineering. I'm a political scientist at the end of the day. But again, we need to learn and these kind of skills by ourselves. So one of the things that I'm really interested in at the moment is AR VR. So I'm just going to give a short presentation on what VR will look like. All right. So I'm just going to put on the device, and I'm going to continue talking to you while wearing the device. Can you go to the Oculus casting browser? Yeah, just gonna use my hand. Alright, so it looks weird that I'm pointing to something, but what I'm doing is I'm actually controlling the console on virtual reality. So shortly you'll be able to see what I'm seeing at the moment. So you guys can see what I'm looking at the moment. So one of the things that I can do right now, hopefully this can inspire you as well. I've tried this on, I'm also Mosque management board. I'm part of the Mosque management board at Mawada Mosque, which is in Sengkang. So one of the things that I've let the elderly try out is to see how it looks like to go on a tawaf in virtual reality. And you actually have people who, you know, who cried looking at it. Recently, Jamia did an event at the expo, and we have found some people to experience the life of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and it evokes certain feeling because it's not just something that you watch in 2D, but now you're looking at it from the 3D. Let me just close this. Right, and then, right. So you can see I'm using hand tracking at the moment. So this is hand tracking 2.1, which is very, very good. So yeah, so there's a bit of lag. Yeah, okay. So now this is actually a footage taken from an Insta360 camera of a Singaporean. I think the guy is Singaporean. This guy here. Alright, so so yeah, so there's a nice view of the Kaaba and it's 360 degrees, so I can look around and experience it immersively as if I'm there. Okay, so I didn't know. To be honest, the last time I went to for Umrah was when I was 7 years old, and I don't remember the Kaaba being that tall. All right, and when I wore these glasses and look at the video, and then I noticed, oh my god, the Kaaba is really that tall. Because on photos, when you look at it, it doesn't really do much justice. Okay, so yeah, this is just a bit about virtual reality. Throughout the whole day, I'm gonna leave my headset here. You wanna play with it, experiment with it, go ahead. Okay. Let me move on to augmented reality. Okay, not augmented reality, but smart glasses. All right, so I'm just gonna pause this. Let me just open my console. Okay. There you go. So I'm gonna stop casting and quit. All right. So I'm gonna leave it here. You can play around with it. Just keep it here in this room at all times. Okay. So now the next I'm gonna show you is smart glasses. So I'm wearing the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. The cool thing about these glasses is that it can, I'm like selling a product like that, but I'm not. But one of the things that I want to show you is the machine learning. So this is something that can help people who are visually impaired, for example. What it can do is it can tell me what I'm looking at the moment. All right, so I'm just gonna do this. Look and tell me what am I looking at. So what it does is it takes a photo, and the machine learning is telling me now you're looking at a group of photos looking at you. So it knows that people are actually looking at me at the moment. And I've tried other cool applications like looking at the building. I was doing my Friday prayer at Masjid Sultan, and I told it to look at what I'm looking at, and tell me which building, where am I right now? And it told me you're at Masjid Sultan in Singapore. All right, it's almost creepy, but it's damn cool. All right, it's a fine balance between creepy and cool. Yeah. So, and you know who does creepy better? But Meta. So yeah, I'm from Meta, but I'm here representing MMIT. So that's all from me, and thank you so much. Any questions? Please feel free to ask me. Okay, so that's all.
Give a round of applause to our speakers. Thank you so much for the sharing. I think it's very eye-opening. And yeah, alhamdulillah, we have access to our brothers here who are in the tech community, and then we can use it to build more bridges, inshallah. So with that, I think if there's no questions, you can talk to them anytime. We can start hacking. We have 21 hours and 47 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so I should start the.
Let's come.
Pasar malam kan? Look and look here, okay, now. The future that might be possible because now at the moment we use camera. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. It's just that the camera glasses. Yeah. So what we can do that is yeah, so
What is this me? Why is it my play? Oh my. Oh, you start dulu.
I did. Those appropriate one.
Like, how can we implement it into an app? Can we use technology? Like, which one of these is the most appropriate for you?
Guys, feel free to use the whiteboard if you need. There's like 3 of it. What are you doing?
The problem with this is what problem are you? That's true. Why is it you are not actually solving the problem here, right? Bucket list. What is the problem you're trying to solve? How might we nya? How might we framework? What is the coba, can you write it in a how might we? Yes. How might we help? How might we help the elderly to optimize the time, the remaining lifetime? right? Yeah, it's very good. You're right underneath the aircon. Like that? Yeah.
How? How do you put it in an app? At least, how do you put it in an app? Maybe you can have like, I don't know, like a bundle. Like pay something to like experience this.
So your how might we-nya adalah apa? How might we help elderly optimize their remaining time? So what does optimize mean? What do you think optimize mean for elderly? Ask. Ask the elderly. Yeah. Or ask. Okay, one idea. What if you have like a task list random generator? So like there's for like web design, you have a website that just randomizes your color palette and see how it goes. You do something like that, but for
And then you can put, yeah, we can do like that. And then
that's
like,
one possible idea.
then if you're financially in trouble, then you can do like your budget. Like if you want to do something more expensive, like I don't know,
Oh, so
like go to another
restricted to
country.
your budget.
Like when you shop, it's your budget.
Oh, so giving suggestions or ideas what to do lah with the. Then there's also the concept of elderly. Maybe for the elderly, you just put like how rate your physical abilities from 1 to 10,
And then that's how we can use technology, use the machine learning to like process.
Coba tanya kamu. Ya boleh. Yeah, I don't energy the kids want out. The ideas. Right now, for the problem, how might we optimize and make this
What's up? Oh, okay. What aspect of it? How do you imagine the elderly to use it?
So how we make it would be something like those color palette random generators online. Usually when designers use that to have a little bit of fun. So we are planning to similar to that. Maybe so maybe based on some questions about physical health of the elderly, rate from 1 to 10, or maybe the budget constrictions. What could the elderly make use of that do right now? I remember earlier you mentioned the problem where you just leave the elderly, usually the young population just leave our elderly in the mosque and
How do you imagine it? How do like they idol? It's a bucket list about their health. About what they
it's more focused to like the elderly being bored, and then this random narrator just helps them choose what to do. That's the most fun for me. It could be
is that a equivalent for are you looking at something which is already there for non-elderly? Is that current activity?
none that I know of.
So, mention this director of the things that they can do or learn. Then how it's randomized, press it, and done and then comes out and goes to the step to the
Yeah. And for as an
5 years. Advice to everybody. Interesting.
What are your thoughts? When you think this could be an
Okay, so what I can say that a lot of elderly now, right? They receive a lot of the news from WhatsApp, right? So they scroll a lot of things that they see from us from WhatsApp. So they're not watching TV anymore, right? Right? They're watching a lot of videos, a lot of reels, right? For news lah. So basically, by elderly, then you have to sort of understand their interests. Usually, they're interested in politics, interested in especially agama, right? And the kind of topics about agama. So they also interested in like end of life kind of. Also, they try to understand the elderly in terms of their life stage, right? If they are 50 to 60, the life stage is every life stage has their own life goals, right? Like for you, you're in Sec 2 now, right? What's your life goal in Sec 2? Is it the same as you mean in primary 6? Different, yeah? Yeah, so try to find out. So when you're looking at elderly, also you're looking at what there also a range that the age bracket that you want to look at, right? Now, 50 to 60s, they are interested in different things. Maybe they're interested in planning their retirement, and then 60s to 70s is really about something else. 70s to 80s, something else, and then within that, you're gonna so when you do your random generator, it has to also fit those kind of things, that kind of message. Like I said, they like to read news, right? They like to read. I'm basing this on interactions with them. It's really pretty much newsreels, a lot of religious clips, right? Once they like somebody, they like katakan Abu Samad ke, they like somebody else also that it gets, and then of course YouTube will or TikTok or IG will log into their algorithm, the algorithm for that. So so things like that lah. Like maybe if I can say what are the things that interest them at that age, it's about retirement planning, wealth planning, religion, right? Some topics are religion, right? News, politics, things happening around the world, community, right? Sports also. Sports is always something that they always right? And so maybe that physical health also, like health is something, but their relationship with health is very at that age kan, a lot of them are like okay. You talk about the age, they'll think about their mortality lah, right? So heart condition, diabetes, and all that. How to help them. So talking about like health supplements and all that. So these are basically topics that they might be interested in. See how best you wanna play around those topics, right? There's a lot of it for advertisements also to come in,
So how does that shape your idea? The new information you heard?
Loneliness is also interesting. So one also is for activities, right? Right now you have like my generation now, it's you have all these health clubs, running clubs. You have strangers who come to the beach and then run together, right? So this is especially an opportunity for elderly to actually connect with each other also, right? So it's something like if they say also, but that's why scams also are they're the potential victims of scams because they get all these things. So loneliness, how to tackle the loneliness is maybe through activity groups, right? People who like whatever hobbies and all that. There's also something that
See, so that turns the bucket list into self-generating to-do list. Self-generating to-do list that's suited to their interests and needs. Then maybe connects with creating groups of people who are
You can say like macam whoever is in the location or these people are interested in this also. You can match them with the ones they connected in the app, right? So you can geolocate them like, okay, Pak Ramli, Pak Ali, and Pak Samad are also interested in P Ramli music, or interested in furniture making, and then you can match them. Listen, solid. Ready now? Something like that.
like impactful.
I think so because now the seniors are priced, or not priced out. They are left out of whatever things that we read Reddit. We read things to keep ourselves occupied also, right? So they are left out of it. So the only way they can interact with this kind of platforms is actually WhatsApp. So what's happening now is they are grouped in WhatsApp groups based on their interests, because these are people they meet at the mosque, their old schoolmates, their old colleagues, right? And then from there they spread each other. I mean but it's really through WhatsApp. So it's very manual. Everyone's just so they are left out of the app space.
They don't use TikTok yet. It
TikTok,
sounds similar to TikTok.
It does
experience.
correct, yeah. But then you want it to be more, right? You want it to be more more interactive, right? You want it to be so TikTok. I mean, basically, is just watching, right? We don't want it to be passive also,
Okay.
right? I think interaction. We don't want to be too passive. Or passive, then you're looking at, which is what TikTok was doing, But they're getting their news, their influencers, their sometimes the decision making also through WhatsApp, through friends, through all these videos.
Actually, that's interesting. Something to solutioning ya. You can imagine kayak you open your web app, right? Your web app or your app, and then based on the previous description of the person or the previous historical interaction of the person, we feed it into an AI, let's say open AI, and then use it to check what are the keywords that would recommend or search things to recommend for this user. And then the OpenAI will give you, because it's a language AI, right? LLM, right? It just give you keywords. You use that keywords to, let's say, search Google, search Twitter, search TikTok, search what is happening in the news today, and then you feed it back again to the OpenAI, and then based on the profile of this user that we know so far, and you can also keep track of the description of the person, right? Feed it again to the AI, and this list of links and articles or news or videos, which one should I recommend to this user? Give me top 5. Very easy. Just use the AI to generate the keywords, and then you search separately, and then use the AI again to help personalize.
You want a smarter YouTube, you want a smarter TikTok, right? You want someone and a bit more interactive, and can also match you with people within your this one, right? It's not my idea, it's their idea.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking doubtful. Is it really useful or impactful? This is very good reshaping the idea.
Good talk.
Oh yeah, this is halal friends over again.
That?
Halal friends again.
No, it's different. It's a TikTok. It's like TikTok, halal TikTok for elderly.
Is the matching with others?
No, there's no matching. It's matching with the articles, not with other people, with the links, with the videos.
Well, then, one idea is to incorporate like creating groups somehow. So, you get others nearby who have similar interests.
Write it down, coba. So another idea is to also connect them with the interest groups, yeah, relevant for them.
Who else is coming? Is Baim and
Yeah, they will be coming later in the evening. Right?
Open up. What time is your
Not sure. Later, closer to the evening lah, maybe 6 p.m.
Closer to the meeting.
Hopefully lah. Ayo, share your ideas, Mas. Share your ideas just now. Get feedback.
Our top idea, self-generating to-do idea list based on interests. Then using AI, that's one way to do it. Then possibly we could incorporate this with with matching other app users who are possibly nearby and of the same interest, then forming a sort of communication platform. And then turning them into this sort of interest group that could help tackle their loneliness issue.
So finding people who want to do some things together, get them.
Yeah,
That's it's online first.
And also the
also the
news.
the to-do list, self-generating to-do list. If it's just article, would it be
To do meaning to read the article, right? To read is just the article.
Oh, but to do.
To actually do, also can.
I mean, maybe you could pull data from, let's say, Eventbrite or
Islamic events.
all Islamic events, and then you see like, so I mean, doesn't have to be specific. It could be a web crawler. See what's happening around you. Yeah, so if let's say someone likes gardening or likes going to the mosque, then you can recommend, hey, there's something coming up today.
A good idea.
Yeah. Something like TikTok but for real activities.
From Meetup.
Yes.
From Eventbrite. From Islamic events. From.
So I mean, you just get a couple of platforms first, just to show the proof of concept. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah.
So then you could just like, I don't know, like Tinder left, right, or something, which they like, which events.
Tinder can do.
No, I mean the mechanism, the Tinder, or they don't know.
Last year was Tinder.
Oh right.
What they did was halal
So
plan.
it's a continuation to this.
Oh yeah.
Tinder for old people.
Aduh, Tinder lagi.
Well, thank you. Solving that loneliness problem. Okay, good. I think they will keep on building on it. We have 6 o'clock, then we can feedback again. Who's online, Anna?
It's live streaming.
On where?
My Twitter and his Facebook. YouTube.
Okay.
My Facebook also, my Facebook.
Your Facebook.
Okay. Udah, you got the idea?
Kind of.
But terus,
I have a bit of that.
that's okay. Just start doing lah.
Yeah.
Start doing.
Let's use that other whiteboard.
You want to use the other whiteboard, okay? Is it bucket list?
Kind of.
No, it's no longer bucket list.
It's
Biar tidak bosan. Jangan bosan list. Bosan.
Soalnya bosan.
Bosan is boring. Anti-boring. Nah, anti-boring list. Anti-boring aja udah nggak usah. Anti-boring.
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 Put like this. You first enter the app.
How might we dulu? How might we-nya lah? How might we? What is the how might we?
Now. thinking about how much dinners here.
Actually, 10%.
And then how might we help elderly entertainers? That's the problem. How might we help elderly? Can entertain, right? Do something useful, right? It could be entertainment, but it's not the main thing. Oh, that's true. How might we help elderly utilize that time? Oh, that's true. Do something useful. Plan for that. Yeah, plan for the day. Or plan for the day. Yeah, plan. How might we elderly know what to do? Know what to do, yeah. Know what they want. Know what to do. Get ideas on what to do. How might we help elderly get ideas on what they can do? What they get ideas. What to do today. Ya gitu aja. Get ideas on what they can do. Yeah, get ideas on what they can do. Okay, see. We know elderly get ideas. Then
Do you want to put the idea?
what are the main features of this? Put the idea. Like what to do.
By idea.
Yeah, like what to do. You can go watch this video or go read this article or go to this gathering tonight. Go to Majelis tomorrow night. Go to wedding. Go to wedding. Crash a wedding. Yeah. Oh.
Go to the zoo.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
Then you can like
it can't be too random. Or do you want it to be like? So the idea that just now to make it personalized to the person's interest, age group, what they're expected to, what people their age usually prefer. Or do you want to make it like random? Make it fun. What do you make it?
keep it like go to the park. I've already done this. What?
What? Wait, I
You
see.
can make it like you can do like I've already done this one. I haven't done this one here.
Write it down. Write your ideas down. No, I don't completely get it. Oh, you look at you still like the user interface of swipe left, swipe right. It's intuitive. Yeah, it is intuitive. So, right. Tidur lagi. Kok Tinder? Gak apa tulis aja. No, right. Udahlah, kamu aja lah. I don't understand. Wait, so what's I don't right? You just. What is Anu's idea? Idea was to have suggestions of activities, kan? And then you can swipe right, swipe left, kan? I've done this, I don't like this, then you swipe left, right?
You put ChatGPT inside, right?
Apa?
Put ChatGPT inside.
Change meet.
ChatGPT.
Oh yeah lah, ChatGPT inside to help apa?
Like I'm 65. I have a pretty fit body, and my budget is $100.
Yeah. What can I do?
He's the godfather of the Indonesia.
Okay, so that's our godfather.
No lah, no lah. I just want to listen to these things. Kamu
Yeah.
What do you want, please? What I want. I think so. Your son is to hire already. You tell me lah. Oh, the only reason why I said the referral bonus, like referral bonus for engineers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if I refer normal people, then I let myself. Then I need to
Do your flip code.
Yeah.
That's a sucky part. That's literally the sucky part. I hate it. Yeah, I really hate got cash for leak code.
But yes. Let me prepare for a couple of plans. Dyson? Oh, Dyson. My
But that guy, when I'm trying to recall, he's my member as well. Oh, he's a yeah. I'm trying to remember the name.
Oh, the CEO of Project Singapore.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
CEO maybe. CEO of Project.
Yeah.
Why don't you do Gojek? Rival. It's okay. No. No, it's live stream. It's just to my medsos. So my IG? No, this goes to my Twitter, my Facebook, and his YouTube. Oh, you can multiple. Yes, yeah. Can you for my glasses also? You can try. Can you join a link? So I can give you the StreamYard link. Okay, can. So I can IG that to my glasses.
Do you know what real life or your life? Tomato rice.
This is because the process connected as an external camera to your phone. Yeah. Oh yeah, so it is a camera. So you can join the StreamYard link from your phone. Oh, different. Yeah, different. You must ask feedback. Your ideas. Explain your ideas first. Okay, Bang Hilman.
Idea
Communication.
Okay, so our idea is aimed on solving how might we help elderly get ideas on what they can do today. So what we are planning to do is to have a list of self-generating to-do ideas that change depending on the elderly's interests, age, and those other factors. Then one other feature that we're trying to incorporate is to have same-minded people, like-minded people, users nearby, and group them together, forming a sort of interest group over a community over WhatsApp maybe, or over our communication platform. Possible.
It's a good. You have a North Star. The North Star meaning you have a clear and very definite objective. So which is the swipe left and swipe right for the activities. And then you can, using that data, you can then tailor make what's the next activity that you can suggest. I think that's good. And it doesn't seem to be hard to build as well. Seems very easy to build. Are you planning to build using like native iOS, Android, or web app?
I am more personally. I'm more familiar with web application.
Okay.
So we'll try with that.
Okay. You can use like React, and then you can do React Native.
Yes.
And Angular you can do as well. What's the Angular equivalent? I can't remember. Yeah, but that's yeah. Sounds good. Sometimes the simplest idea is the best. Don't complicate it too much.
So just right, left to do.
Yeah.
Okay. What about having like sort of web crawler to tell you about, hey, there's this activity going on nearby there. Would you like joining in? Something like that.
I think that would be a good idea as well. You can hook up with a geolocation API to look for activities around the user's location based on a radius of a certain kilometers or radius. And then you can use that to filter down on the activities and based on that for suggestions. And that can be a different vector that you can include. I think another one you might want to anti-boring for elderly. Because my parents take care of my grandmother, so they have a problem with trying to find caregiver. That was a problem back then. Like each time when my parents want to go for a holiday, it's quite difficult to find a caregiver. Sometimes like find okay, let tadi put to this uncle in this house or this adiknya di sini atau just try to find someone who can take care for the weekend. So that I'm not sure if we will be able to incorporate that in. But that was like a real problem for us. But also because my grandmother was really very old. She's like 91, 92. So she was pretty old. Now my parents, they're like 65, 66. So yeah, they can use this. You can like swipe left and right for activities. I think that's good. Yeah, they are always looking for activities to do. That's for sure. Cool.
Just summarize into this one screen of this activity to do or not.
Do or not to do. Do or not to do. That's the question.
This is the fastest question.
I got the initial funding, so we are trying to raise funds from
The day I saw your you went to bazaar.
Then we just on board to our and they can just ski on the stage and just like the water so they can just so that was then I think now I catch my share. That I wasn't involved in
But then again, that's also not really we retired, but technically
Most of them are peers. So like, you know, in December also, our usage rate was like less than 10%. We had encouraged them.
yes.
Oh yeah, because
It's not going topics related
Because we're better. My main inspiration are trying to find activities to do. They have don't really know what to do. A lot of the youngest is 2 years. A lot of the kids they have children working. Maybe they could be facing some but they just want to do something. You want to cause
considering that President-elect
we are live streaming.
Oh no! Yeah, that's what raised the heart of a lot of people actually, right?
So
Probably the sun is you.
So basically,
and the sun is a perfect example of this. You know what the sun study in Singapore? And you know which one?
I mean, guess. No. 3 guesses. No.
the thing is,
So the sun is going to a normal government school is for like
Market park.
So he goes to show our advantages in the great.
Dia kalau bukan dari Raffles, bukan dari Macam nggak bisa jadi bukan militan, right? So MDIS graduate, become vice president of Indonesia. You. I guess I'm qualified too then.
Overqualified. Overqualified. My colleagues I think is for my colleague. People don't say what you see. In fact, if you come from university, they'll be like, we don't want you because you're too scattered. Mental aja. If you come from, people think that I'm come MUS and you're open and advantage. No. Mental gonna just see if you're cookie cutter or not. If you're cookie cutter, they won't say that it's together.
I know there's not that many really. Other than
That's one thing that I
doesn't
realized.
really happen.
If you want to manage like the second companies, they really want very innovative solutions that is not quite innovative. So that's one thing that I guess it's better to do engineering because I didn't go through the traditional route. They enjoy benefits behind it because members with what's like, hey, this guy is from Malaysia, he can follow us and looking inside of it. This is enough the organization is style of.
They see that the stamp
Yes. My wife against
Right now, this to do an if you're not an elderly, you can still use it. You can still be one of the users here. The elderly is gonna look at it and
It could be like you want to provide it.
I'm on the side.
You can make it work, like young, to like not.
could be, but then no, that's not like this idea right now is not specific. Sure, the young people can. But the usage of the swipe right to left of activities is not. Why must the elderly specifically use it? What's special about this for the elderly? Yeah. If I give this to the elderly, no difference. What's the difference? Yeah, exactly. What do you mean?
You're making it more confusing. Good thing, alternating to make it more special. I don't know. They're not easy.
Because you being a future person,
So this is
So far I'm okay lah. I'm not posting anything. I'm only hitting and liking only.
Yeah, so no, from what I from what I know, they will put when you create the content.
this one no problem. This one no problem. This one, I don't even need to do the content. I know it's gonna be a problem. Right. The number of this is the problem. No, for Singapore, it's
My class,
My post can do like 1,000 likes.
if I get 100 likes on my post, they're like, oh. It's celebrated. We just got 1,000 views on
Correct.
So what will start influencing
That's why quality effect. So basically keep everything calm.
Yeah. Best for me, best
Spiky.
I'm not scared of simple. I'm scared of getting cancelled. Because my views are
Oh yeah. That one is a day-to-day minefield that I have to walk carefully.
my phone says, but his wife.
It's already. I feel but then
I got jealous of my wife.
no, then I realized actually because we grow up on Muslim brothers and sisters, and then you see
Okay.
Which one you want? No, that on stop.
Bye.
Then they have to
Parrot. This is your not really.
So mine is
With the lens color being colorful like that, is it?
yes.
Okay.
People in the 1960s don't want to pick up the phone because the government is saying
Oh yeah.
there's people in the actually telling the government what they're doing to their phones. And now they want the government to see everything which they are seeing.
Cartoon.
Yeah. Comic strip lah. To show the social differences. The past people don't online.
Oh, it's
There's a anti-sketch.
like right now, what makes it suited for elderly eventually like continue have that was and the content is regulated how part of the sound engineering, right? You have you should operate as if you are a consultant to a group of elderly. Singapore, that their daily expense for this much equipment, and you can create that profile and just fit it together. Will help you figure out or do you want for example, there's
Facebook now is everywhere. But when you look at what was the trend, just internet get so it is something. Don't think about what.
Ada things Let's say bye-bye first then we go. Let's say bye-bye first then we go. Oh no, he spit out, mashallah. Come on. Got tissue?
Your own.
So I just get all the discounts. But how the market is what's the difference? Interesting. If you can categorize enough your product, the specific
So, Kirimas, it's a two-step. I suggest the design is a two-step design.
Second time third time dah. As long as hidup. As long as
Wait. Okay. So, so you first is from the elder. You go to the you ask first. Okay, here's the elderly profile, kan? Elderly profile. Suggest ideas. Suggest keywords. Let's say not ideas. Suggest keywords. So this gives you back keywords, right? So you got keywords. Then use this keyword scrape. Scrape. So you can go to Eventbrite, Islamic event, and then some curated data points that we have about activities in Singapore, happenings in Singapore, and general news and whatnot, right? And videos, maybe even TikTok videos, then all this combined into sort of bunch of things. Feed it back again to the LLM, right? And then you ask, yes, pick song, yeah.
no, all but this one okay, see, I think I was just talking about your
How do you get there?
you know my post tau. My daughter also. Yeah, do you know I sit down there. There. Oh, sudah.
Kau biar phone ni?
Thank you so much for organizing. Let's get back WhatsApp number juga.
Oh, your stuff.
I'm not really sure this.
Apa-apa yang senang lah dia want change the solution boleh. We all have kids, we understand. Apa-apa yang senang. Nak air, ada air. Dia tak pakai air.
Dia ada sini.
Right.
Script that.
Oh, this is such a life. I'm a dad. I have this kind of stuff. No, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice. So, what is the latest idea?
Yeah. Tak jadi tinggal kan? Ada lucu kan? Dia dengan daughter start ada gigi dah. Ya, itu nama sikit. Ya, nanti kalau ada time, pergi dulu lah. You can come, you selalu bisa beli juga kan? Itu kan bagus lah. Berapa ya? 600 plus. The new videos that no, no, the one bagus sangat. There was one is near to India. It was Pasir Ris.
Kasih. Oh, kasih.
Samuel, how many?
Salim dulu.
This guy is very good project manager.
Time to code? Yeah, go. If I don't know how to do that, kamu call Om Zain aja. How do I start?
Do the what's called UX first, UI first.
Oh, by framing ya?
Yeah.
Yeah, benar dia. Frame dulu, frame dulu. So,
Then your idea is
perjamuan you create the template and yes, you are able to for the first time you
Yes, collection. I made it with that. So I was associated with it. But the winding down because all the money is
okay, no, what was the we don't need that.
I mean, the problem is get coming from us. Yeah. For the most, I try to so we provide funding for them for projects and all the monthly projects. But they handle the ground. The staff, jadi kita staff
Yes. And over here, it's just wait, what is
every month.
It's like a big screen with the picture of the person.
and so just something like that. But how do you describe the activity?
like put the picture of it and then like you know, like the main thing you put charter actually you don't need to put but it's better to put chest and put a picture of the chest board and then like
Where you gonna get the picture? Yeah, I generate.
yeah,
Yeah, I generate the picture. Why?
finish biryani. It's gonna be amazing. I hope it's very delicious.
Okay, then wait. Just AI generate the image. AI generate the image. Then the title would be like let's say you're reading an article, it would be the title of the article at the bottom. What? Just image and that title. Image title, or maybe if it's an activity, image title, what's at the bottom? Detail.
And then after like you swipe right, like you say that I'm interested, right? You like you press button into another page, right? They will like say like find groups near me or best places to do like instructions. And then like if you swipe left, like I don't want to do this, just do the same thing with just a different activity.
Just it's left just to delete. If it's right, then like find groups near me.
Yes.
Just three baru.
Instructions. Like people near me.
Start with group people. Groups. Groups. Oh, then.
The third one again? Places.
This.
Card.
Where to do it?
Most suitable place. Like, that is
Mosque. But I mean, there's a guy so they're very skeptical about this kind of
break.
So